Today, I'm going to be talking to you about passive and active solar heating. The sun emits 3.9 times 10 to the 26 watts of power. However, only a small fraction of that power reaches the Earth's surface. The rest of it is reflected or scattered by molecules. But the amount of light that hits the Earth in 1 hour is able to power the entire Earth for over a year. That's why it's important for us to keep inventing new ways to efficiently harness the sun's energy. And using alternate sources such as solar heating, we are able to cut down on the amount of finite resources used such as coal and oil that have awful environmental impacts. So here are some ways we are currently using solar heating. The first type of solar heating I will talk about is passive. Passive solar heating makes use of the sun's heat and energy without requiring special mechanical or electronic devices. There are a few techniques when using passive solar heating, and those include putting windows on south-facing walls to emit solar radiation in winter, covering buildings with dark roofs in order to absorb the most heat, building homes in the hillsides, and using solar ovens. One of the most used techniques, however, is solar ovens. Solar ovens are the preferred way of cooking in developing countries due to the lack of a need for supplementary fuel and the lack of other monetary costs. Generally, solar ovens have wide reflective areas that collect light and concentrate it into one central point, where there is a black surface that converts the light into heat. There are 4 main types of solar ovens: box cookers, hybrid cookers, parabolic cookers, and panel cookers. Box cookers use mirrored panels that reflect the light into an insulated black box with a transparent top that lets in solar radiation. A hybrid cooker utilizes a supplementary electrical heating system so it can be used when the sun isn't out. These cookers are usually larger and are meant for group use. A parabolic cooker uses a parabolic mirror that focuses the light into one place. They are a lot like box cookers, but they cook at a lot higher temperature and they are harder to construct. And the easiest and cheapest to make is the panel cooker, and is typically made from a cardboard and aluminum foil. Solar ovens usually require regular adjustment to realign the device with the sun's rays so it will receive maximum sunlight. The second type of solar heating is active. This type uses energy captured from sunlight but also utilizes advanced technologies. Even though it might produce more energy overall, the use of technology lowers the net energy yield. Some common examples of active solar heating are heating swimming pools and operating household water heating systems. There are 2 main types of solar water heating systems. The first type is very simple and circulates cold water directly to the solar collector to be heated, and when the water is warmed up, it returns to an insulated solar tank. However, some places that use solar heating systems experience freezing temperatures. For these, they require an anti-freeze liquid to circulate inside the water itself. In this example, the solar collector has pipes on the roof of the house that has a non-freezing liquid that is circulating through it, collecting heat. A solar collector, also known as a collector plate, is a blackened metal plate that is meant to absorb sunlight and is insulated on the top with multiple layers of glass. Those are in place to allow light to pass through the top, but keeps the heat from escaping, in turn heating the pipes. The hot liquid heated by the solar collector is then sent down to a hot water tank that contains a heat exchanger that transfers the heat from the liquid into the water. Once the heat is transferred, the liquid is pumped back up to be reheated. There is a pipe coming from the bottom of the water tank supplying cold water that will eventually be heated. The energy return ratio is very good on the system, however, these systems aren't entirely efficient due to the use of electricity to heat water when it isn't sunny or it's too cold to function off of just sunlight. I think one of the reasons people in developed countries don't use passive solar heating systems is because they aren't as fast as just sticking your food in a microwave, and they require a lot more hands-on action such as rotating the cooker to receive more sunlight. And as for active, the technology is a lot more expensive to install than just having the power plant supply your heat. However, in the long run, the device will end up paying for itself with the amount of money it can save from what would have been spent on dirty electricity. As for the environmental impacts of the system, there really aren't any except for the little bit of pollution that is due to hybrids that still incorporate a little bit of fossil fuels to create more energy overall. Which goes to show that alternative energy is the way to go.